Lily Allen, Empath, Narcissist, or Something Else, Part 3. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. We are considering Lily Allen. She's under the Tudorscope. We've spoken about her early life, but we're going to delve deeper into the relationship with her mother and father. As mentioned in Part 2, Keith Allen, a Welsh-born actor and comedian, left the Allen family when his daughter Lily was 4 years old. She recalls the day he left their council flat in Bloomsbury, describing it as one of her earliest memories, where she questioned whether it meant finding a new father. The abandonment left her with feelings of rejection and a desire for unconditional love, which she later linked to her decision to have children. Her father's absence during her childhood was significant. She explained that he was often not present, and when he was, his interactions could be inconsistent. For example, she recounted an incident where Keith Allen suffered what she believed was a cocaine-induced heart attack at Glastonbury when she was 13, though he later clarified it was acute food poisoning. This misunderstanding led to tension, as Keith Allen was upset by her recollection in her memoir. She's described her father as narcissistic and unfaithful, suggesting his self-centered behavior contributed to a lack of emotional support during her childhood. She felt sidelined in a family surrounded by impressive people in the entertainment industry, where her needs were often deprioritized. This dynamic fostered a sense of being unseen, which she later connected to her struggles with addiction and mental health, as she sought affirmation she felt she didn't receive from her father. All of that screams lack of control environment and an individual that is crying out for validation. As an adult, her relationship with her father has remained fractious. In 2015, she tweeted about his absence during her headline performance at Latitude, stating, "My dad was at Latitude when I headlined and he didn't even come to see me." This demonstrates ongoing feelings of neglect. Is it simply neglect, demonstrating the selfish behavior of her father? Or is it demonstrative of his failure to see her, amounting to a lack of control? In the 2018 memoir, My Thoughts Exactly, she recounted the Glastonbury incident that I mentioned earlier. This precipitated a rather cross text from her father, who felt she had misremembered the event. His response to her memoir, as reported in the Telegraph newspaper, was that he hadn't actually read the memoir, but described their relationship as one where they bring out poison in each other, suggesting mutual tension. This may well be the blame-shifting behavior of a narcissist in the father. Despite this, Keith Allen has expressed pride in his daughter's achievements, though his comments often carry a defensive tone. For instance, he told the Telegraph he was very proud of her, but framed their dynamic as challenging. Describing his daughter as such certainly demonstrates an individual that's probably devoid of emotional empathy and a parental rejection of his duties towards her. She has suggested that he may have resented her success, theorizing that he felt she had been given the short straw as a child, yet surpassed his expectations, which she perceived as unfair to him. It would appear that the pair of them repeatedly trade blows with regard to him issuing backhanded compliments and barbed put-downs, and her highlighting his poor behavior towards her. She's maintained some level of contact with her father, but the relationship has been inconsistent and strained. There's no explicit evidence of complete estrangement, but there have been periods of emotional distance and limited interaction. It would appear that there is ongoing tension between the two, no formal reconciliation. The fact is that this demonstrates a pair who regularly insult one another and trade blows, which may be demonstrative of the dynamic between two narcissists, both seeking to assert control over one another, or the behavior of a narcissist in asserting control over his daughter, whilst she reacts to that in the way that an injured victim would, by stating the truth of the situation and looking to seek justice. Lily Allen has been candid about what she describes as her daddy issues and the impact of her father's absence. On her Miss Me podcast, she admitted to seeking fatherly figures in relationships, linking this to her childhood experiences. Does this smack, perhaps, of a deluded narcissist, or perhaps the behaviour of someone exhibiting codependence? She has stated, "My dad walked out on me when I was 4. I'm sick of this," reflecting frustration and hurt. She portrays her father as a flawed figure whose behaviour left nasty scars, and she said she was determined not to repeat that with her own children. She also told the Recovery podcast that she felt that her father resented her success, believing he expected her to fail due to her challenging childhood. Is that an accurate representation of him, or is it a pity play issued by her? Keith Allen's public statements about his daughter are limited, but reveal a mix of pride and defensiveness. In the Guardian interview, he described their relationship as one where they act as poultices that bring out poison, acknowledging the complexity of their relationship. He expressed pride in her work, but avoided engaging deeply with her memoir's criticisms, suggesting discomfort with her portrayal of him. His response to the Glastonbury incident, via a text message described by Lily, indicates that he was quick to correct her narrative, demonstrating a sensitivity on his part as to how he's perceived, which may well demonstrate the necessity of control for him. With regard to her mother, Alison Owen, a film producer, was a young mother, and she struggled with parenting responsibilities, often particularly after Keith left when Lily was 4. Lily has described her mother as quite absent during her childhood, attributing this to her mother's career demands and personal challenges, which included substance use. In My Thoughts Exactly, Lily recounts feeling neglected, as Alison prioritised her work and social life, often leaving Lily feeling like everyone else was prioritised over me. Alison's struggles with substance use and her relationship with comedian Harry Enfield, which ended due to her frequent absences, added to an unstable environment. As an adult, Lily's relationship with Alison appears closer than with Keith, though not without challenges. Alison lived 5 streets away from Lily in London, suggesting physical proximity and some level of ongoing contact. When reading Lily's memoir, Alison needed a long break halfway through due to its unflinching portrayal of her parenting, indicating emotional difficulty, but not a complete rift. Alison's response to the memoir was, "It's your truth, darling," which suggests an acceptance of Lily's perspective, which might also demonstrate a reluctance to believe that it is accurate without expressly stating as such. There appears to be an ongoing relationship, but it's one that is complicated by past hurts. Allen has been forthcoming about her mother's shortcomings as a parent, particularly her absence and struggles with substance use. On the Recovery podcast, she discussed feeling unseen in a family prioritising impressive people, implicating both parents, but she noted that Alison's role as the primary caregiver after her father's departure. She has defended her mother against a misogynistic comment, for example, on X in 2017, where she stated, "My mum is far more successful than my dad, and she raised us mostly alone," which demonstrates some degree of loyalty towards her mother despite past issues. With regard to her mother's comments about her daughter, they are far less documented than those of her father. She doesn't show the same level of defensive reaction to that of Keith Allen. There are no extensive comments from her, but there is a lack of ongoing public disputes, which demonstrates there appears to be some desire to maintain a relationship. What is clear that her relationships with both parents have been dysfunctional, problematic, and have fostered a lasting resentment on her part. Is this lasting resentment one that is indicative of a narcissist with a need for control that has been subjected to the behaviour of one, possibly 2 narcissists, with the consequential lack of control environment that follows? Or is this simply an individual who is reacting to that she has had a difficult childhood and is speaking honestly and truthfully about what has happened to her and how that has impacted upon her, not in the way of creating a narcissist, but a damaged individual that has certain flaws and vulnerabilities caused by the behavior of her parents. Well, naturally, we look at all of this information in the round, but once again, we've been given substantial indicators as a consequence of the dynamic between Lily Allen and her parents. Join me in part 4 as we examine more of Lily Allen's life.